We were raised in a very abusive household. And like I've said, I tell my friends, it's not because our parents didn't love us, it's just that's all they knew. Psychologically, I became, I thought that perhaps that's what I was made for, just to be abused, because the abuse actually happened as well with neighborhood dads. And so basically I would say now, looking back, that yeah, I did choose a gay lifestyle because I wanted to be protected, because I knew that in that lifestyle I pretty much had control of the situation, and that caused me to take a direction and a turn in my life where, yeah, men would never abuse me again in my life. So at around the age of 25, I did have an awakening and an encounter with God. I started going to church. I started going to a Christian church, but I still had a lot of shame about the lifestyle that I led, and I never quite felt accepted, ever. Was always, I almost got pushed away because I had this gay lifestyle, or because, that, and what that actually did for me, this was back in '92, what that actually did for me, it just really pushed me completely away from the church. I tried, I knew that I wanted a relationship with God, but I tried, New Age, Santeria, I tried all kinds of methods to get to God, but I didn't want to try Christianity because of the way I got treated, because of being gay. And there was this day at my job, and I'm in my office, and it's after hours, and I could hear a scuffle going on outside, and my girlfriend was there, and one of my employees' husband had come to pick her up, and they're arguing, and I could tell after about 5 minutes that something's just not right. So I come out just to kind of see what's going on, and I get out there, and my girlfriend looks at me and she goes, "Oh, look at his shirt. It says, ask me about the gospel." And I'm asking him, but he can't tell me. And he's there for real. He's just struggling with his Bible, looking at his wife. And I looked at him and I'm like, "Carlos, bro, tell her what's the gospel?" And he just can't say nothing. And then all of a sudden, like just out of my mouth, I start saying, "Dude, the gospel, that God sent his son, Jesus Christ, to die on the cross for the forgiveness of our sins." And I start, like out of nowhere, I'm saying all this stuff. I even go into the parable of the sower. And now my mind is just like, what is going on? I go back in my office and I come back out, and I told my girlfriend, "Hey, come on, let's go, let's get out of here." We get in the car. She slams the door and she just looks at me like, "What in the world is that? Where did you come up with that? I mean, we don't believe in God. What is that?" And now at this point, my life is replaying. And I'm remembering all the abuse and everything and how God took me. And then the last 10 years, I'm just remembering God bringing me through. And then this is like 10 days of just my life, just me remembering. And during that time, I get on my knees, I ask God for forgiveness, and I'm making the steps. I go back to church. And it's about a month into this, because I start in the book of Luke, read all the way to the end, come back to Matthew, and I'm reading in Matthew, and I'm reading Matthew 19. And then Jesus says, some are eunuchs because they're born that way. Others are made that way by men. And still others have chosen to be this way, so for the things of God. And then he says, to him who is called, and to him who can accept that, let him accept it. And I'll tell you that it was like from that second, it was like, I'm no longer gay. I'm no longer gay. And that was November of 2002. And from that moment on, I've never had a desire to be with a woman. It's like, I didn't have to transition out of that. God didn't have to work on me on that. It was like instant up. And when I saw that happen to me, it's like I knew that I needed to follow Jesus, and that he was who was going to get me through, and that I was going to live my life as best as I could, just talking about him, making him known, doing whatever I can. And I mess up here and there with whatever, but I want to just dedicate my life to following and serving him because of that.